Alright, so today for our training, we are going to go over proper camera usage and identifying a drain line that needs to be jetted. Now this is after you have ran your cable machine and cleared the blockage. We don't want y'all using the jetter to clear the blockage itself. You should be able to do that with your cable machine to get relief on the line, so that essentially you don't run the risk of using the jetter and adding more water into the system and flooding the store location. There is no blockage that should not be able to be cleared with your cable machine first. Alright, so watching this video, this is the proper thing. You want to start from right here where you can clearly see he's going into a flange. Wait for this to get out of the way. Alright, and now he's pushing through. That was a fitting where it was going to be pushing him back up into another toilet. You can see the bottom of the other toilet there. So he backs out. And then he gets it to go down into the main line right there. Now, as he's pushing through, one of the big things y'all need to be looking for here is, see, his camera is sitting on the bottom of the line right now. But you can see on this line, look at all that debris on the top side of the pipe. That is your instant indicator that this line has issues, has constant recurring issues with it backing up. If you're getting, dirt and debris building up that high on the line, then this line has an issue. And in this particular location, if you saw that right there, they take this 4-inch line and they drop it down to 3 inches right here at this fitting, which is crazy to do. Absolutely illegal. You cannot go from a 4-inch to a 3-inch at all. Now you can go from a 3-inch to a 4-inch, but not in the reverse. And then watch what happens when he gets it up into the 3-inch. Do you notice the difference with the pipe? Look how much cleaner this one is on the top side. Showing you that they hardly get any blockages on this side of the pipe at all. So that's a big indicator right there that a lot of their blockages that this store was experiencing was back at that fitting where they downsized. Now right in here you start to see they get built up again, but he also just went through a small little belly, and you could indicate that by the water, clear water just sitting there. And then he comes right back out of it. And look in this section, back to mostly clear. But the biggest indicators are those dirt lines that you see in the pipe. So this section right here, overall is a pretty good, pretty clean section of pipe. But let me back it up again. Areas like this again, this is an easy sell of saying, hey, we need to get in here, we want to jet your lines out and clean it up for you. All this build up over time will eventually get worse and worse to where it's a true, solid mass of just build up that gets on the pipe walls that a cable machine will not be able to get rid of, and ideally it's shrinking the inside inside diameter of your pipe, which over time will just cause backup after backup after backup for them. So stuff like that, if you ever see that after you've run your cable machine and everything, you got a bunch of buildup, if you have the jetter with you, let's quote for the jetter. It's easy way to take a job to go from the $800-900 to run the cable machine and camera up to 15 to 16, hundred by adding on to with the jetter and everything. And that is essentially your daily sales right there.
Say, like if we're in South Carolina, this happened, would we rent a jetter from like United Rentals or something like that?
No, we would always look to see, who is the closest technician that has a jetter, or, if we have to, we'll look at, finding a way to get one from a shop sent down on that side. With my group of guys, which you'll learn, I tell them all the time, hey, if there's a jetter sitting out there, you better take one. And you can, I'm willing to put money on the table right now that we could go in there to Roy, and the majority of my guys are the ones with the jetters right now. So, it doesn't do the company any good if we leave a jetter sitting out there. It's now literally dead money and missed opportunity for whoever doesn't take it on that side. I know driving with a trailer, is not the most ideal, especially going through like Atlanta with all the traffic and everything. A lot of guys don't like it, but if you start taking it and you just get comfortable with riding with the trailer and everything, and you drive slow through those heavy traffic areas anyways, then it doesn't become an issue anymore. It's now second nature. You're going to be used to driving with that trailer. The moments that you don't have a trailer, it's going to be like, oh man, this is a breeze at that point. So my biggest recommendation is, if you ever see a jetter out there, always try to take it, because on average, I say, you probably get for sure at least one or two clog jobs, every week. And that's an opportunity right there where you can make, $1,600 to $1,700 on one job instantly. Any other questions? And then just remember, when you're running your camera, as you can see in this video, we always want to run it. You can see, he's still just going forward. Run it all the way out, your entire reel. Because you never know what you're going to stumble across. Like, look, right here is where they drop back into the 4-inch. And you can just tell, you can see all that primer that was built up right there from where they connected it, and when he actually pushes in, any moment now, you'll be able to actually notice, see how his head just drops? That's where they go back into the 4-inch. And he continues just to run it all the way out. Here's another spot where it's starting to get a lot of buildup, and you see the water level rising. And right here is where he's, boom, going into his septic tank. That's the baffle tee. All right, that concludes.